Wednesday 19th of September 2018. We start off with the anything but independent. Can May handle the pressure of Brexit? It's not the pressure of Brexit, it's the pressure of the public finding out that she's a treasonous bitch. That's what's concerning, because they know that they will demand her execution, and a lot of the other on the cabinet and in the MPs, as many of them should be, of course, because most of them are, many of them, should I say, are paedophiles, child raping bastards that tell us what we can and can't do, that tell us what's morally right and not. A bunch of paedophiles tell us what's morally right. Why do you think the country's in such a shit state? Because we've been run by paedophiles for far too long. It's time that they were executed, or at the very least sent to prison for the rest of their lives, or a mental institution, because they clearly are mental. They couldn't be making these decisions if they were sane. So there we go. Warn students of meningitis threat. Journalism under threat in Ukraine. In other words, they're not reporting what the Western propaganda shit sheets are reporting, so they must be reporting the truth then. The wait goes on for Cable's erotic spasm. Britons take the crown at the Emmys. Backlash against bids to stop low-skilled migrants. Right, this is total and utter absolute propaganda, this part. Theresa May faces a backlash over proposals to clamp down on low-skilled workers after Brexit, which UK businesses have labelled as potentially disastrous. So business runs the country then. And this isn't about business anyway. This is about continuing the invasion of our shores, except it's not by a standing army, it's by the back door, all controlled by the scumbags that are in actual fact nothing more than parasites living off us humans forever so far. Time to eradicate the parasites. Star. I'm a celeb toff, trolls ruining my life. Oh, well, damn, that just can't be allowed then. I know what we need. We need some sort of statute or act or something by the European Union which stops anyone having any free speech on the internet. That's what we need. Oh, wait, they've already brought that in. Danger storm to batter UK. 85 mile per hour alleys knockout blow. Lives at risk in flood and travel hell. So somewhere up there someone's got the wind, and apparently it's terrible. I must admit I've not smelt it, so it could be, but that's by the by. But it's all fear, doom and gloom, usual shit. Speaking of shit, the utter scum. PM, tough on Irish border, but throws ours wide open. All welcome, come, yes, all come in and rape our women. Yes, that's what we want, because we've got no plan of being here in the next 5 years, because we're off to somewhere where there aren't no more of these immigrants. Oh, that'll be Israel or New Zealand, allegedly. And now you'll see why I call it the utter despicable scum. Exclusive. Oh, so they've got an exclusive. The scum have an exclusive. Russian models terror. Putin tried to kill me with rat poison. Salisbury attack number 2. That I know is a pack of lies, but let's just say it was real, because rat poison is poisonous. And it can kill you. But why didn't you use Novichok? Oh, of course, they didn't have any of that, so they just went to the shop and bought some rat poison. And of course it's a Scandinavian looking woman showing the tits almost and whatnot. Load of bollocks. Utter load of bollocks. And how did they get the exclusive? This woman just come and talk to her and says, oh, this is what happened. Oh, well, it must be true then, because some woman just come out of the blue and said it. Must be true. Absolutely, got to be true. Yeah. The scum never lies, apart from when it prints anything. It's so ridiculous. This is the ultimate scum sheet propaganda. And for anyone that actually throws their money away on that shit sheet, probably has a mental problem. Probably been drinking too much tap water. But wait a minute. What's the I know what I want to say. What's the main ingredient that kills rats? Correct. I'm glad some of you have been paying attention. Sodium fluoride. What do our beloved government put in tap water? Correct, fluoride. Oh, that must mean that the government's trying to kill us all. Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. That's come back to bite him on the ass, hasn't it? Hopefully. The Times. Britain set for tough new curbs on low-skilled immigrants. Total propaganda bullshit. They are just throwing the doors open, say, come on in, you're all welcome. You can come in here, you can do what you like, you don't have to obey our laws, you can even bring your own laws in. Are we ready to, like, exercise the criminal, traitorous, treasonous bastards in Parliament yet? Dementia threat soars in areas hit by pollution. Up to 40% increased risk of worst roads. By design. But let me think. What could you do to combat dementia? I've got it. Coconut oil. Which I have a teaspoonful in my beverage here. No blue lines. Now, police taught how to use banter. I actually think that's a mistake there. I think it's police taught how to use baton. They've not been using it right. They've just been beating people about their head and it's been knocking them out, and they've not been able to torture them. So they've been taught how to use the baton just to batter them down and keep them going so that they can torture them later. Because the police are far worse than any Nazi or Russian secret police nowadays. They are absolutely commercial police. They are there for what pays their wages, and what pays their wages is corporations. Of course, the police force itself is a corporation, so it will bow to other corporations that pay them money. Police force should be a police service, but it's either way, it's not fit for purpose. It needs doing away with, and the actual correct intelligence of men, women need bring into it, not the ones that are in it at the moment, which is so dumbed down, so that some of them struggle to open a crisp packet. But that is the perfect IQ for the police, because that is what their overlords have ordered them. We need their IQ low enough so that they don't do any critical thinking, otherwise they'll realise they're being used as simple lap dogs for the scum, and then they'll fight back and they'll come after them. So that's why they need the low intelligence, usually bullied at school types. And now we get to a real piece of utter gutter journalism by The Guardian. Stormy Daniels tells all. Book on Trump. I'll get to the that particular bit in a little bit later. Business anger at elites plan to axe visas for low paid. Oh, so we better let them all in then. Oh, I'm talking about pure evil. The picture. Look who's back. Samantha Cameron, the satanic Luciferian evil child murdering bitch, is back at number 10. And if you want to know about which child she murdered, it was her own. As did many prime ministers. It's to prove their loyalty to the scum of the planet. Whether that be flat or round or square or cubed, whichever frigging planet you like. Starmer almost quit over Labour's plan for Brexit. Labour haven't got a plan for Brexit. Neither is the Conservatives. Not the one that you would want. Not the one that was voted for. Because we were voted to leave. Not to be fucked about with for 2 years plus and still nothing. When it was quite simple what to do. You repeal the 72 Act. We're out. We've washed our hands. Off. Sharp fall in number of girls who feel happy. And I wonder why that is. Oh, that's because we've got a criminal, satanic, Luciferian, traitorous-filled parliament. That's why not just girls but many are feeling less happy, because they can see the treasonous, traitorous behaviour of those in parliament. But don't worry, their time's coming to an end sooner than they would like as well. Daily fail. Arthritis, an eye tumour, a mystery divorce. How Claire Foy overcame it all to become our Hollywood queen. Okay. Toxic air to blame for 60,000 cases of dementia. Diesel fumes a major cause, warn experts. Well, who created the diesel engine? It was either Germany or France. I believe it was France, because they came out recently apologising for the fact that they knew it killed. It was an absolute toxic poison that came out of the diesel engines. But it's all part of the depopulation plan. Everything you're seeing, every little bit is a little chip. They've been chipping away to try and depopulate the planet for a long, long time. World wars are usually their most favoured tactic, but it looks like we may not fall for it this time. Well, we may do. Either way, it's still all part of the bankers, yes, the bankers' plan to depopulate the planet. So you know what we need to do? We need to depopulate the planet of bankers and politicians and royals. And you see what a lovely, glorious, fantastic planet we have after that. Whether that be square, flat, round, whichever. Let's just sort the main problems out first, then we can sort the rest of it out afterwards. And of course the main problems are the politicians, the royals, the councils, the police. Sort that lot out, we can sort the whole planet out. Aye. Quality, concise, the future of independent journalism. Yeah, I suppose it does lose a little bit after time and again of reading it. Anyway, Stormy Daniels in shocking Trump claims. Now, interesting they call them claims. So in other words, I can claim that Parliament's full of paedophiles. Doesn't mean it's true, but I can claim that. Although in that actual case it is. Educating Manchester head teacher steps down. Steps, or was he thrown? Wolf Alice, it's hard being in a guitar band in 2018. Hey, listen, love, it's always been hard. BBC threat to free TV licenses for over 75s. Is anyone still paying this shit tax? It's a corporation. And why do the government announce how much it gets each year? Because it's the propaganda arm of the government. No one should be paying anything for their shit that they put out. Corporation may force more older viewers to pay after Director General Tony Hall, who's on over £500,000 a year, warns that current spending is unsustainable. Hey, I'll tell you what. That's for all the out there. I tell you what, if the current spending is unsustainable, how about this? Now this will shock you. Stop spending. I've solved the BBC's problem. Well, the problem for the funding, not for the problem for the propaganda, but that part anyway. Public broadcaster will need to find estimated 750 million a year to fund pensioners' bonus as it faces increased competition. Right, so they get like just under 4 billion a year, and they can't survive against the competition. Well, you know, in any other industry, if that were the case, you'd be thrown on the scrap heap and said, you're quite clearly no good anymore. Not that you've ever been any good in the first place, because you've always been the propaganda arm of the government, but you're clearly shit, so it's time for you to do one. Hit shows are being lost to rivals and cracks are beginning to show. BBC chief tells Royal Television Society. Good. Mirror. Now this is absolute utter gutter press. Stormy, it may have been the least impressive sex I've ever had, and here's why. So let me get this right, Stormy. A hardcore porn star has had more pricks than a second-hand dartboard, and you think you've got the right to criticise some bloke. Of course, you're talking shit. I imagine he's quite good in bed with women, but this is utter gutter press. And I've seen some of the films, a film that she's been in, and she's not very good at it. She takes it up any hole and every hole. So you judge that, her, rather than judging him. Not that I'm a fan of him, but you know, when the gutter press gets to the point where it goes after someone's sexual performances, you know it is utterly desperate to try and badmouth someone. Hospital bed block shock. Social care chaos sparks new surge in elderly patients stuck on wards. I see the New World Order agenda is working absolutely perfectly on mark and to the point. Unless you want to blame someone else, of course. Express. Theresa May exclusive. Brexit plan delivers all freedoms people voted for. That's it. Telling you there. Okay, I may have added a little word there, but that's the truth at the end of the day. We all know we just repeal the 72 Act, we're out, and they can do one. But no, that's not the plan. The plan is to keep this Brexit bullshit going for as long as possible, while at the same time pissing everyone off that voted, because they voted we wanted out, and there was more like 80% voted out. But no, we'll just keep it going long enough to have everyone so pissed off they just say, oh, okay, just let's stay in this dictatorship. That's the plan. Don't fall for it. Metro. Brits rule at Emmys. Hero cop failed by bungled security. Armed officers sent to patrol instead of manning gates. PC Park, Kenneth Palmer was completely failed by a security regime that had not functioned for years on the day that he was murdered. I think this is probably to do with the bullshit Parliament thing. So pay it no attention. I won't be. Telegraph. We need to tell the truth about immigration. Alison Pearson. I totally agree. Be proud of council houses, says May. Tories break from Thatcher's philosophy of ownership with 2 billion for social housing. Fake news. You'll be lucky if you get 10 houses out of that, because that's how they operate. NHS has racial bias, says doctor's chief. Yogurt more sugary than Coca-Cola. Blue Sky thinking, is it time for flying taxis? Yeah, but it's not going to be allowed by the dictating bastards that are in charge, is it? Endgames begin in Salzburg as PM tells EU leaders her hopes for Brexit future. And I'll just give you some of them. Well, we're going to let the population of our country believe that we've left Europe, when in actual fact we'll be so tied in there's no chance of us ever leaving. But don't tell the population, otherwise they'll be really pissed at me and might even want me hung. Yeah, unfortunately, Theresa May, the secret's already out. Netflix has Bodyguard in its crosshairs. Financial Times. Electric planes, the biggest aviation revolution since the jet engine. Brazilian nationalist. The disputed roots of a right-wing would-be president. The bot next door. Geography may dictate which jobs are at risk. China hits back at Trump tariffs by targeting 60 billion of US goods. Beijing says talks lack good faith, levels at low end of scale, room left for negotiation. Migration report emboldens May in push for restrictive post-Brexit regime. That's utter lies. There will be no shutting the borders, or even just narrowing the borders. The plan is to, and whether you like it or not, the plan is to invade the whole of Europe with African invading army, but we'll call them migrants, because if everyone realised it was an invading army, they would stop it. And we don't want them to get there until it's too late. And guess what? It's getting close to being too late. Time to man up, chuck this racist bullshit out the window and tell it how it is. It's an invasion by design, with the cooperation of every government, almost every government. A couple, Italy and Hungary, are starting to fight back because they can see what's going on, and they say we're not taking it anymore. So it's up to us to do the same, or just roll over and take it up the arse. Apple pays Dublin 14 billion back tax in state aid spat. Oh, now just imagine if Apple paid the back tax that they owe us. You know what would happen? We wouldn't see a fucking penny, because it would all be spent or given away to them, to the elite scum that has been doing this for... Right, the tax that is paid now covers everything, but that's why they have to give it away, like 98 million to India. For what? Because they don't know how to get rid of it, because they've got so much coming in, they don't know what to do with it. That's why they do these stupid things like Nottingham Criminal Cartel. Put these fucking robins up all over, 33 of them, all over the city. And then a little map. Have you been hoodwinked? Yeah, we've fucking well and truly been hoodwinked. But not anymore. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.